Hello everyone, good morning and welcome back to DMU, or one of DMU's fantastic live streams. We're doing quite a lot of these recently. Hello everyone, if you are joining us on Facebook, if you are joining us on YouTube. Hello everybody, hope you're having a lovely morning, you're staying safe, but you're being able to join a little bit of the sunshine over the weekend. If you are joining us either on Facebook or on YouTube or wherever it is you're watching, drop a little comment in the comment section, give us a little wave, say hello. Let us know that you're watching and that you're enjoying the stream. You might be outside in the garden enjoying the sunshine. You've got us propped up on your phone, ready to give you lots and lots of facts this morning about clearing. So that is what we're going to be talking about this morning. We're going to be going through the journey of essentially clearing UCAS Extra, all of those sort of next steps towards the end of the university application process. So if you're in any doubt or if you've got any questions about that, this is the live stream to do so, because we're going to be talking about all of those things over the next sort of 45 minutes to an hour. Hopefully we should be able to wrap that up and you can go back outside, enjoy the sunshine or whatever it is you were doing. I can see lots of people are joining us on Facebook, which is lovely. If you are watching on our website, you might not be able to see the comment section just yet, but you can go through to the YouTube page and you'll be able to comment on there as well. And we will try and answer any questions that you might have about clearing. Now, you'd be pleased to know it's not just me this morning, although I've got great hair. Actually, no, I haven't. I'm definitely rocking the lockdown chic at this point. I think last time we just talked a lot about beards, but I have got my colleagues with me this morning who are also going to be dipping in and out, talking about all the different topics to do with UCAS Extra and clearing. So talking a bit about the journey so far, decision making, results day, all of that good stuff. So I think we're going to introduce them now. First things first, or first person I would like to introduce is Jamie B. Hello, Jamie.
Good morning, Ben. I'm loving the hair. I've gone the opposite with the hair. Mine's all gone, mate.
Yeah, no, it's looking good. It suits you.
I haven't got much choice. It's going whether I want it to or not. So hi, everyone. I've worked at DMU for longer than I care to remember, 17 years. I've worked in international student recruitment. I've worked in school and college liaison. I've worked for a widening participation team. So I've worked here a long time, but I remember my own results day literally like it was yesterday. It's one of the biggest, most stressful, most exciting, most nervous, most exhilarating days that you will have in your life. And the more prepared you are for it, the more you understand the process, the better off you will be and the better off you will find that day goes for you. So we're hoping to give you some info to lead you up to results day and help you understand what you need to do, what you need to think about, and all the different options you have got, including decisions and options you can think about now, as well as those things that will happen in August.
Absolutely. So yeah, Jamie and I are rocking both ends of the lockdown trim at this point. But yeah, hopefully we can give you lots and lots of information. Talking about results day and everything, we've got a current student on the stream with us, which I will introduce in just a few moments. The next person I would like to introduce is Dal. Hello, Dal.
Hi, Ben. Hello, everyone. I'm not going to say too much because Jamie's covered everything that I wanted to say. He's taken the words literally out of my mouth. All I'm going to say is this stream is orientated around you guys, so please do feel free to get involved. Please drop us a comment and mention to say you're watching. And please, if you have any questions, let us know and let us be able to help you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is quite a confusing point of the cycle, is sort of next stages. So yeah, it'd be good to find out. And Dal is again the complete other side of the lockdown trim with his beard. We've not quite caught up to that point yet, have we?
Although I've been growing it for the past 2 years, so
so not
I can't really claim it to lockdown, to be honest.
No, good stuff. And next person I'd like to introduce is my colleague Faye. Hello, Faye. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. So I'm Faye again. Dal, Jamie has kind of touched upon as well what we'll be talking about today. I bring about 5 years experience of clearings now, so we do have some great advice for you. We've dealt with lots of situations, students who aren't quite sure what to do, upset students even. So hopefully we will have some good advice for you today.
Thank you very much, Faye. And last, but certainly not least, as I say, we have got a graduating student from Montfort University. We've got Tierney. Good morning, Tierney.
Hi, morning. Yeah, so like Ben said, my name's Tierney. I am currently leaving DMU, but I came to DMU through clearing about 4 years ago now, as in placement year onto my degree. So yeah, I'm here to answer any questions from the student perspective.
Lovely. And it'd be really good to hear from you a little bit later as we go through all of the different topics that we have to cover during this live stream. So as I say, if you're a student who is, whether you're actually interested in going to university and just looking at all those different options, or you have already applied and you're just wondering what sort of happens next, what are the different options for you, we are going to cover all of those different things over the next sort of 45 minutes or so. So as Dal said, make sure you pop any questions, any comments, just give us a little wave, comment on how great Dal's beard looks, pop them all in the comments because that's what we're here for. Speaking of Dal, actually, I think you're going to lead with our first topic, talking a little bit about the journey so far. So over to you, Dal.
Cheers, Ben. So I'm going to turn into a bit of a weatherman because there's going to be a lovely graphic on either this side or this side. I haven't quite worked out which side it's going to pop up on. Ben, this is your cue to put it on the screen, but it is going to pop up somewhere. Here we go. It's over. Yeah, it's over here. Okay, so right on cue, Ben. What we're going to do, we're going to have a look at the journey so far and where you guys have been so far, and what you got to look forward to over the next couple of months or so. So we know that the cycle started between January and September, where you guys would have done your research, you would have planned your application. Then the official cycle would have opened in September 2020. Your teachers in college, in sixth forms, would have been badgering you to write out your personal statement and how important it is. So we guys at university can have a look at it and make a decision on your application. But if there was anyone that was applying to Oxbridge or medical courses, then you had a deadline around the middle of October. From there, we progressed on into January. There's the slide. And what we have done then, you would have sent off your applications in regards to that deadline of January the 15th. And roughly around the end of March, you should have heard back from all your universities. Now, some of this may have been disrupted due to COVID-19. So if there was a bit of a delay in getting your response, it would have been down to the latest pandemic. You're now in a position where you have to make a choice on your where you want to go in terms of your firm and insurance. And last but not least, in August, we have our A-levels results day and the opening of clearing, releasing, confirmation. And this is where we really want to lead into in regards to today's live stream.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Dal. I think it's worth noting, I know that that timeline did say May to make your final decisions, but I believe that date has been moved slightly.
June?
Yeah,
June the 18th they have got this year, which is, I think it's 2 weeks on Friday. So it's an extended date because we know, obviously, this has not been a normal year. The fact we are live streaming from our various back rooms implies that. So everyone's been given a bit of extra time just to make sure that you've got time to understand the situation and make a carefully thought out decision. So the 18th of June, but bear in mind, if you don't reply by that date to pick your firm and your insurance, you do run a risk of your application being declined by default. So that date is one to really try and bear in mind. So essentially it's 3 working weeks that you've got to make that choice.
Yeah, and this is all reflected on your UCAS track, I believe.
Should be visible on UCAS as well as on the UCAS website itself.
Sorry, it's Thursday, the 18th of June.
Oh, it's Thursday the 18th. Oh, yeah.
There we go. So we've got the date. We've just checked it. So we've got all that information there. So we've got a little bit of sort of background context to the overall sort of cycle for students, and obviously this will be reflected into sort of next year for those year 13 students that are looking to apply come September. So speaking of offers and sort of that final decision making, Jamie, could you sort of run through those different types of offers for us?
I can. I'll give you a headline. So most of you guys watching will hopefully have been through this stage of the journey or be going through it now. So this jargon will be familiar to you. So you've got 4 different types of offers you'll get when you're applying. So you've got one, the classic is the conditional offer. We will give you a place on a course, assuming you get X grades in your A-level, BTEC, Access, IB, whatever it is. So the course might want 3 Bs, the course might want 120 UCAS points. Your job is to get those grades or close to it. And then when it comes to results, then your offer becomes unconditional and you're in. The second one is the unconditional. 2 types of unconditional offers, actually. One might be you've already done your results, you've already got your grades, the therefore your offer is unconditional because you've already met the conditions. Or it might be your application was strong on paper, great GCSEs, great reference from your teachers, good personal statement. The university thinks, yep, we want you on the course. Therefore, they make you an offer as an unconditional offer in that situation. Then you've got alternative courses. I recall, well, back in the day, we are talking back in the day, I applied for economics. They rang me up on the week on results day morning and offered me agricultural economics, which I panicked and imagined myself driving a tractor and milking cows and was like, no, not agriculture. So I declined it. In reality, it was one module difference to economics, and I could have transferred back to main economics after year one. So alternative courses might be offered. They'll always be in the same ballpark, or there might be a rejection and unsuccessful when that university says, really sorry, we can't take you on the course. We can't make you an offer. If that's the case, don't panic. That's why there's 5 choices on the form. So unsuccessfuls do happen, particularly if you've been ambitious. Your job then is to decide which one you put as your firm, your favourite, which is the one you will go to if all things go well on results day, which one you put as your insurance, your backup, and which 3 you decline and say, no, thank you, not for me. And if you change your mind on your firm or your insurance, as we'll talk about later, there are various ways of making alternative decisions using Extra, using clearing, and I'll bring Tierney in a sec because Tierney's experience is very much about that changing her mind. But there's lots and lots and lots of options you've got from now. But essentially, you'll be at the point either when you've got your firm choice in the bag and you're waiting to see what happens over the coming period, or you'll be in a position when you're making the choice to work out which is your firm going to be. But also, you can still come in as a new applicant. So don't think that it's closed, there's no new entries. There's new applicants can come in right the way through the cycle from here.
Okay. Tierney, did you want to sort of jump in on that then after what Jamie's just said, talking a little bit about your experiences, maybe at this stage of the cycle, and then how you found that sort of firm insurance and then that sort of decision-making process?
Yeah, so absolutely. So I chose my choices. So I put one university down as my firm and then one university down as my insurance, and was pretty set on them two. And then obviously I came to DMU through clearing, so results they didn't go as I'd hoped, and then didn't get my firm university. And then on the day sort of looked at my insurance choice and was like, I didn't really want to spend 4 years in the city. So that's probably the deciding factor for me, was the kind of the setting the city, the university was in. I decided to go to a more city-based university, which DMU is. So I ended up having to go through what everyone else will talk about later, was getting my offer released from my insurance choice and then going through clearing with DMU.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And as I say, we are going to talk a little bit more about that later on, talking more about releases and clearing and everything. But your experience of going through that process, all through sort of from your firm choice being pumped down into your insurance, and then obviously you made your decisions from there not to go with that insurance. So it'd be good to find out a little bit more about that from yourself a little bit later. Does anybody else have anything they want to sort of add with what Jamie's just talked about or what Tierney's just talked about? No? All good stuff. And obviously these situations vary from student to student, and the process is flexible enough that it does allow you to have those choices. I've just heard from Tierney there as well. There's a question that we've had through from KK.
I think I can say any questions anyone's got.
Go on, Jamie.
If anyone's got questions, just get in touch with, ring us up. We're going to give you a supportive customer service related piece of information, so don't hesitate to get in touch if you do have questions.
Yeah, and I'll pop the telephone number on the screen in just a few moments. But speaking of questions, Jamie, we've had one from KK on Facebook that I think somebody may be able to answer. So it says, if I've already withdrawn my application for DMU, can I still go through clearing in August?
Absolutely is the answer there. Yeah. So if there's several different ways of doing it. So Faye's going to talk about UCAS Extra in a moment. And if you're not holding any offers at the current time at all, then you can use Extra as a platform to apply to university right now, so you can make a DMU choice immediately. Or if you're holding offers elsewhere but you want to see how things go, then you've definitely got clearing as an option, which will open formally from the 6th of July. So yeah, there's lots and lots of different options. So I think as we talk through Extra and talk through clearing, hopefully it will become clear the different ways you can definitely still get involved and apply for this cycle now.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's no worries there. If you've already withdrawn your application, all the stuff that we're about to talk about is going to be very, very relevant to you. So stick around for that, and stick around for Faye talking about UCAS Extra. Faye, over to yourself.
Yeah, so it might be that you don't need to wait for clearing, that you can actually go through UCAS Extra and get things sorted a little bit earlier if you are perhaps unsuccessful in all 5 of your choices that you've made. Or it could be that you've changed your mind about the course you want to do or the university that you want to go to. I can imagine that this might happen a bit more this year because usually by now people have returned to look at campuses before making their firm and insurance choice. And a lot of, what we're looking at now, it's all online. If you are looking at DMU and you haven't made your firm and insurance, just going back to that, because you have got, 18th of June to make that decision. We do actually have online, we have campus tours, virtual campus tours. We'll have an open day coming up in July. So, try and do that as well, then make your firm and insurance choice. But if you do change your mind about where you want to go, what course you want to do, there is UCAS Extra, or you've been unsuccessful in those choices. Now, you can make one application through UCAS. You can't change your personal statement. So if you've just decided, you were going to do engineering at university and all of a sudden you want to do dance, admissions tutors might be a little bit confused when they get your application through your personal statement. So it might be that you can actually submit a new personal statement directly through to the university. So do contact universities before you go through this. Check that they do have availability for the course that you're interested in. You don't want to make, a wasted choice if they don't have that availability. You can talk through things like predicted grades, or what course you're doing to make sure it's in line. Are you going to have an interview? Is that going to be online, for example? And if any of you, are thinking about UCAS Extra, it is open now. It runs through to July, but I'd say get it done sooner if you can, just because, you want to guarantee that place is available. If you are holding offers, you can't use it in addition. So if you've changed your mind about the course, the university, then you will need to reject any kind of decline any offers you're holding to be able to use UCAS Extra. Chat to universities about things like accommodation. Lots of us have got availability to speak to people online. So we have something called UniBuddy where you can actually chat to people like me. You can chat to students as well. So there are ways in which you can get in touch with us. The inquiry line people answering the phones are really, really friendly. I even call them myself to ask them questions. So yeah, do that before you rush into anything. There's no additional cost through UCAS Extra. So if you have already paid the £25 to make the 5 choices, then you don't have to pay anything extra. So yeah, you might even want to, if it's just that you've slightly changed the course that you want to do, you were applying to do criminal law and now you want to do business law, it might be that you don't even have to go through UCAS Extra. It might be that you can just call the university and say, can I make a change? And they might be able to do that on their side without having to do anything specifically through UCAS or declining any offers.
Perfect. Thank you very much. And you'll notice there I've popped the number for our inquiry team in the comments. So if you do want to give them a ring, you can find that number in there. And also Faye mentioned our UniBuddy scheme. It's a chat service that's available on our website, which again, you can go to this link that's in the comments. It does say to speak to one of our students, but myself, Faye and Dal are all on there as well. So if you do want to have a chat about stuff like to do with UCAS Extra, obviously you can go through to that and have a chat with one of us and we'll be able to advise you further. So there we go. So thank you very much for that. And like I said, do keep any questions or comments coming through if you are watching and you do have any questions about the things that we are talking about. Jamie, Dal, Tierney, do you have anything you want to add with regards to sort of UCAS Extra?
I think it's just a bit of a hidden piece, isn't it, in the UCAS journey? So many students don't tend to realise it exists. Like the question we have from KK saying, I've withdrawn my application, can I apply through clearing? In reality, Extra sits there as a more immediate platform you can use now and take control of your own destiny before you're into, because clearing is a big opportunity, but clearing is also a bit of a melee. There's so much going on and it's also frantic because it's surrounding results day, whereas Extra is something you can do in a much more controlled way in the main cycle when it's far less kind of competitive and rapidly changing. So I think it's just a case of if you're either a late applicant to the cycle, you've changed your mind, or you're not holding offers, then definitely look at Extra and use Extra, because it's a real way of de-risking and giving yourself clarity moving through the rest of the summer. And obviously this year, the one thing that all of us are struggling for is clarity. So anything you can do to give yourself that reassurance is definitely worth it. So I would just check out the detail and check out your track and see if it's something that is relevant to yourself.
Absolutely, yeah. So yeah, do check. All those details are available through the UCAS website. So quick Google of that will take you over to the website.
Have you ever heard of it, Tierney? Have you ever heard of UCAS Extra when you're an applicant? Did you know what it was?
I don't think I did, no.
Yeah.
I was pretty set on the 5 choices and then choosing my top 2 out of those 5.
Yeah, I was going to say, when I went through the system, it wasn't that long ago, but I didn't really hear of UCAS Extra either. It was a case of, right, you had your 5 choices. If you didn't get in your 5 choices, or your 2 once you've narrowed them down, and that's it, you was going straight into clearing.
Yeah, it's good to know, and I think that flexibility for students is nice to just have it. Not all students will use it, but I think it's nice, as you guys just said, it's nice to have that in the background just in case you go, actually, I've applied for this engineering degree, but actually I really want to pursue my career in, I don't know, something completely different. I want to go and suddenly do dance degree or something. I don't know, completely change your mind. So it's good to know that option is there for students if they want to use that. Okay, cool. So the next kind of point that we want to quickly mention then is results day. So going off the back of that, towards the end of this sort of whole UCAS process is results day. So it's over to me to chat for a few moments. So obviously results day is a big day for students anyway, because obviously you've got a lot of your A-level results and that sort of thing all kind of coming through. So the day can be emotional, it can be quite heated, it can be quite stressful. So be prepared to get everything sort of sorted quite early on. So be prepared for an early start. If you can, get yourself over to your college, over to your school to pick up your results. But also UCAS track will be available from 8 o'clock on the results day, which I think is Thursday the 13th of August. So it will be open on that day for you to be able to kind of log in and actually see what stage your application is at, whether you got into your firm choice or whether you've been moved down to your insurance. So that's the way that you can sort of find out and get your confirmation. And you will actually be able to speak to universities to actually find out again what the status of the application is. And equally so, as again we're going to come on to in a little bit, clearing will be open by results day, which means again you'll be able to speak to those universities if you've logged in onto UCAS Extra, onto UCAS track, sorry, and you've not been made those offers, or you've not secured those offers to that university. That's when you'll be able to ring up universities very, very early in the morning and actually start speaking to them about what your next steps are, what your kind of options are in terms of those courses. I believe actually I have got a graphic that I can show you in a minute, which will cover things like confirmation, which is again ringing that university up just to confirm that you're going to that firm or indeed that insurance choice. So I'm going to flash that up on the screen now. There we go. I almost forgot. So yeah, it allows you to check via UCAS track for confirmation. And obviously, like I say, you can speak to the university directly. Now, universities won't be able to give you your exam results. Now, while the university will have some of your exam results for them to be able to make that final decision based on your offer, they won't be able to give them to you over the phone. So it is encouraged that you do and go and collect those from your school. Particularly, again, if you are going to go through something like clearing, you're going to need to provide those grades and those results over the phone to the clearing advisors for them to be able to kind of make you an offer based on the tariffs for that university. So that's really important as well. So we do highly recommend that you go and do that. Now, for those fortunate students that do really, really well on results day and actually exceed the conditions for the offer, it might be actually they can use clearing in the complete opposite way, in a really positive way, and actually be able to get into a university or onto a course of a higher grade tariff than what they originally planned. So say, for instance, you applied for a course that was BBB and you actually go, well, I've got 3 A's. Maybe I can look at a course that needs 3 A's that's maybe something slightly different or something that is a little bit more specialist. So these are ways that you can start to be, again, a little bit flexible with your university choice, but it all kind of happens on results day once you've got that bit of paper that tells you what exactly you've achieved from your couple of years at sixth form. So do make sure that you pick up those results, you pick up that information, and then obviously you do check onto UCAS just to see where your application is at. Equally so, if you didn't apply for university at all, you've never even seen the UCAS website, but you've picked up your results on the A-level results day, and you've seen all of your friends getting their places at university, and you think, actually, I've changed my mind. I really, really want to go to university now. Again, start to call up those universities, start to have a conversation with them and see if they, again, can make you an offer through clearing to actually get to those universities at that stage. Right, let's bring everybody else back in. There we go. Did I forget anything, or did I not mention anything that anybody wants to add?
I think the only difference this year is the fact that a lot of students in year 13 won't actually have sat their A-levels or finished their BTEC courses. So for you guys, it is a strange year. You spent your whole school career building up to this culmination in year 13, and then it's not happened. It's kind of petered out, and you've not taken your exams, you've not finished your dissertations, your assignments, and you've now got these kind of predicted grades when you've got your teachers giving you grades based on your GCSEs, your mock exams, your coursework, your attitude and your progression curve in class. And you're left thinking, oh, gosh, is these predicted grades going to be better than I might have got, worse than I might have got? Are they going to be positive? Are they going to be negative? And you've not been able to control your own destiny in quite the same way. So on results day, universities are going to be a lot more flexible than they would normally be, because we know that you've been through this very challenging scenario. So, and also those predicted grades, they're going to be positively realistic. So if you were on the cusp of B's and C's, they're going to give you a B, B, C, a B, B. They're not going to kind of go, oh God, they could have bombed out. They give them 3 Ds. They're going to be quite positive grades. So one, try not to stress about the grades the schools will give you. And 2, we will genuinely have flexibility. So if you get your grades and they are not quite what you hoped, that doesn't necessarily mean that the university won't take you, because we are going to go out of our way to give you the best experience you can and to maximize that flexibility. So the process, the timing, the way you get your results will be the same. It's just the fact that your results are not based on your own final exam performance. They're based on a calculation of what your final exam performance is most likely to have been, which is they're different, you know, so it does add a certain level of I guess uncertainty, doesn't it?
Absolutely. I almost forgot that this was all going ahead. I've just sort of so used to working from home that I just sort of forgotten that the outside world was still a bit wacky.
It does feel weirdly normal that we're doing this now, doesn't it? It's slightly strange that the abnormal has become the normal.
Absolutely. So yeah, so that's actually a key point to remember with results days. There is going to be a lot of uncertainty. So if you are unsure, just contact the university you've applied to if you're in that position, or again, speak to different universities, go through UCAS. There's a lot of information on there. Tierney, can you reflect back to your results day? How did you find that whole experience of that results day? Admittedly, it's going to be a little bit different for students this year, but how did you find results day?
It was obviously it was a very stressful day. Like I said earlier, I didn't get my firm choice university. And UCAS actually opened, or like lets you know for me personally, UCAS let me know my results, or not my grades, but like if I'd got into the university or not before my school had opened, so I can go and collect my results. So I sort of checked it that morning, realised I hadn't got into my firm, and was a bit panicked over that, and then still went to school, got my results, and then left again really quickly. Didn't say hello to my friends or anything, and then just sort of like took a minute to myself and just calmed down. Was like, okay, like these are my grades. They're still good. Like I'm gonna go to university, and then sort of got home, looked at my insurance choice again, like what they were saying. I was like, oh, actually, don't really want to go there. And then thought back to the unis I had looked at, and then DMU really stuck out for me. Called up DMU on the clearing line, was like, oh, these are my grades. I really want to do this course. I've come to see it. Like what can I do? What can you guys offer me? And like DMU was really positive and offered me a place on the course. And then that's pretty much it. And it was just like pretty much finding accommodations and living from then on. But that was really easy. DMU was really supportive of that as well. They offer those different services, from the DMU affiliated accommodations to the different private accommodation providers around the city. And like when I called up DMU, they were like really like a really good pace, and they talked to me through everything really well, because obviously it's a really stressful day, and what you had been planning for like a good few months kind of gets completely flipped on its head within like a few hours. So it's a really stressful day. But DMU was fantastic, and sort of just talked me through it slowly and carefully.
Cool, thank you. I think that's quite a nice positive message, because I think not only is there this big sort of process behind clearing that obviously we're talking about, but I guess actually it is quite an emotional day, isn't it, results day?
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's good to sort of know that you managed to keep your head. You're a bit stressed initially, but you got through it.
Can we do a quick straw poll out of the rest of us. How many of us got into our firm choice? This is like who passed your driving test first time type question. Who got into your firm?
I passed my driver's test first time.
Did you?
Yeah,
Oh,
I did that as well. Driver's test first time, theory test first time university.
Oh. Can you mute him, please, Ben?
I thought he'd left the stream.
I didn't. My firm wanted ABB, and I was never going to get ABB. What I wasn't bright enough to get ABB, but more accurately, I wasn't actually committed enough to get ABB. I was balancing quite a lot of lifestyle, job, relationship, as well as the A level. So I didn't get the grades I needed. I needed ABB. I got B, C, C. So my firm, like I said, they offered me this agricultural course, which I immediately panicked on. And so I dropped down to my insurance. But because it was somewhere I genuinely fancied and wanted to go and was 50-50 with the firm anyway, I still had a really great experience. But it is a bit of a shock when suddenly you find that you think you're going there and then you're suddenly going somewhere else. But as Tierney said, you've got to get a grip on yourself quite quick and kind of stop yourself descending into panic mode and get moving.
I think something to note, though, I got into my firm choice, but I didn't meet the grade requirements. I actually missed them, but they still accepted me. So it can depend on a number of things, and it can be whether the course is competitive, if there's many people actually vying for that course. Sometimes it's they want students, they want kind of a mixed kind of variety of students, and everybody still comes out with a degree. We get everybody up to the same level. So I missed it. And yes, it was sometimes a bit of a challenge at university, but it was lots of support available for me, just to help me with my kind of academic side of things.
Yeah, I think mine was very similar to yours, Faye. I was slightly under what I needed for the course, but they still gave me an offer. So, yeah, it's not the be all and end all. Universities can be quite flexible with it, can't they? I think Dal's having 1 or 2 issues with his Wi-Fi again, but he's back. So, yeah, I think general advice. In fact, Tierney, your sort of, what do you think your sort of top tip for results day is then? What do you think you should recommend that students do on a results day?
Just relax. Like, you will be fine at the end of the day. And the first, from the morning till about lunchtime, you probably cry. It's okay. But yeah, no, just take it slowly, breathe, talk to your teachers as well in your school or your college. And they will have had students go through clearing many years before. Just talk to them. They're really good at giving advice. And then, yeah. Do like prep for clearing beforehand as well. Like, I know it's not on the day advice, but I was slightly like narrow-sighted and was like, I'm going to get into my firm like no matter what, and then didn't prep for it at all. You just need to prep for all eventualities, like watching live streams like this, so you know what clearing is actually going to be like. That would be really useful on the day.
Absolutely.
I think you make a plan that you hope you never have to use, sort of a what if plan, but that way, if you do need to use it, it's there. And it's much easier to fall back to something you've thought about than to fall back and have to make a plan up when you're in a kind of stress situation. And everyone had a mate on results day who had that meltdown. I remember one of the lads literally got his results and he was dead set on going to University A and getting these particular grades. And he literally disappeared in a cloud of dust in his car and was gone for days. By the time he resurfaced, it was too late to have his pick of what could have been his with what were still quite good grades. So it's just about keeping your cool, keeping calm. As Tierney says, a plan in advance really helps you do that.
Yeah.
Now the fear of this has probably already been discussed, but my Wi-Fi has been panned, so I'm just going to say it anyway. Tierney, first of all, did you do any research through clearing? Like, did you know where to look or how to start, or what was kind of your thoughts around when you went through the actual process? I've got a second question as well.
Yeah, I did a little bit. So when I came home after getting my results, I looked at some of the universities that had the course I wanted to study. Like, I'd never changed what I wanted to study, and saw a few universities around the country. And then I sort of remembered that for my insurance, I'd been deciding between what I'd actually put down and DMU, because I did really enjoy the DMU campus. It was just like a little bit further away, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to move that far. And then I didn't want to go to a university that I hadn't seen. And like, obviously universities, especially at the moment, won't be open for you to go and see them. So I sort of remembered how much I did like DMU. I had a really good chat with one of the academics in my faculty. He was absolutely fantastic and didn't and like he kind of changed my mind about it. And yeah, I did do the research, but I ended up going to DMU because I had already seen the university, did really enjoy it, and just like messed up a little bit about insurance, but then I got in anyway.
Yeah, so if you're in that position and you haven't seen a university, as Faye mentioned earlier on in the stream, it's important to take advantage of the virtual open days, have a look at the campus online, because you're still able to be able to do that without doing Ben's role. But you were speaking about your accommodation. Ben, sorry a bit if I'm saying.
No, you go for it. I'm joking.
You know what it was? I was bored of you, boys.
That's fair.
I'm only joking. No, because Tierney was talking about accommodation. What was your views on accommodation? Was you scared about it? Because we've had a question come through from KK.
Yeah, I'll talk about that, of course. So obviously on the day I had a bit of panic. I was like, oh, like, I'm going to go to uni like 3 hours away from where I live. I'm going to have to commute there every single day. And then sort of realised that people do go to university and they do tend to, they may not find it's right for them, so they might leave. So there was always a possibility of me taking over someone else's accommodation. That was sort of like a last like panic thought. But then once I had confirmed my place at DMU, they offer you the resources of the DMU affiliated accommodation. So I think DMU own 2 and work with a couple of providers on like I think maybe 6 or 7 more. Looked at all of them, didn't have space in any of them. And then DMU offer some private accommodations as well. So looked into the private accommodations and saw if there were spaces in any of them, and there were spaces in all of the private accommodations. So I just looked at like them online, was like, there was a couple of like video tours of them on YouTube. I think actually what's going on at the moment is kind of lucky in the fact that a lot of providers are doing like visual tours now, like online and virtual tours, so you can actually see them. And then I did that, and then just chose one of them. It was like it was actually a really easy experience. A lot of universities do expect their students to come through clearing, so they do keep places back for those students.
I think one of the fondest moments that I have of clearing is that I had a friend that didn't apply to university at all. And then he suddenly realised that, you know what, all of the boys were going to university. I know it's a real fickle reason as to why you want to go, but the boys are going to university and they use clearing as a process to come through. The fast track their application, they still had to write their personal statement, but they still managed to get a place at university coming through clearing. So if there's any of you watching now, where at start of year 13, your mindset would have probably been, right, I'm going to go into employability, I'm going to get myself an apprenticeship, and then bang, coronavirus has happened. Now that employment scale, that employment market has now drastically changed, and the opportunities may not be there that was there for you in September. So it's not always late. If you wanted to come through clearing, it doesn't matter if you haven't made an application or anything, you still have that opportunity to come through clearing and get yourself a place for September on the courses that still have some availability. Sorry for hijacking, Ben.
No, that was really good stuff. No, thank you for that, and those were really good questions as well, so thank you very much for Tierney for answering those. Jamie, we have talked quite a lot about clearing now, actually, and I suppose we should jump over to Jamie to give us a little bit of a rundown of the sort of, I don't want to say the technical side to it, but the more sort of structured factual side, maybe the boring side.
The boring side. So you tear me up with a line saying, "Here is Jamie with the boring side." Lovely. Yeah. Okay. Here is the boring bits. Brace yourself. It's really good to see at this point. So clearing, we've talked about it a lot, linked to results day, and it is linked to results day. But in reality, clearing starts on the 6th of July, which is only just over a month away. And you can apply for a place if either you've changed your mind, if you're completely new to the university process from scratch, or if you're not holding any offers because you've not been successful with the university you've applied to. So from the 6th of July, but it has a real spike as you get to August and A-level results day, which is Thursday the 13th of August. So every single year, thousands and thousands of students do apply through clearing. And it's not just the case that clearing is a load of courses that nobody else wants, and it's for people who've had terrible days and are forced to panic and find something. As Tierney talked about, clearing can be an opportunity for lots and lots of students. And even if students do end up going to university they hadn't planned to go to, they still can have absolutely fantastic times. And having a plan, doing your research is completely, utterly the thing you need to do. So from the 6th of July, university websites, the UCAS website, ucas.com, will advertise clearing places with potentially slightly reduced grades compared to the main cycle. And what you can do is you can get in touch with the universities directly. You can have a chat. You can find out if a university is a suitable fit for you. They will have a chat. They will then make you what's called a verbal offer. So if your academic predicted grades fit what the university is looking for, they'll make you a verbal offer. You can go through the marketplace and get 1, 2, 3, 4 verbal offers from different universities. You can browse the campus, the course, digitally at the minute, like we said, rather than face-to-face, but digital open days, prospectuses, talk to current students. On the 4th of July, as Ben's popped up there, all of those things are available to you. Then once you've worked out which university you want to go to, personally, I think we'd be a great choice, but obviously I am slightly partial on that front. You can then go onto your UCAS track or create a new application if you're a new UCAS applicant, and then add that one clearing choice. So you don't have a firm, you don't have any insurance, you just have one place you're going to based on those predicted grades. And then when it comes to results day, if the grades come in you go. Or if it's on results day and you know what your grades are, you get the verbal offer, you then add us on UCAS, and then that offer is confirmed straight away. So clearing really it's an opportunity just as much as it's a threat. Lots and lots of choice, lots of ability to be a late applicant, lots of ability to change your mind, lots of ability to find something if you've not got something already secure. And universities aim to be as supportive, as secure as we possibly can do.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Jamie, for doing what I did describe as the boring bit, but hopefully that was really, really useful to people that do want to go through for clearing in terms of the actual process.
Personally, I really enjoyed it. Thank you.
You might be in a position like Dal's friend, who, again, like I say, you've never applied. So you know that process is there for you. And again, you see all your mates on results day, kind of getting all their offers and stuff going to university. The process is quite nice and simple, and all of our friendly advisors will be on the phones very, very early in the morning. I remember me and you, Dal, we were on the phones at, what was it, like 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, ready to take offers last year.
I think it was 6 a.m.
I was going to say, I remember getting in at 5:30, 5:45, Ben. I don't know where you was for the first hour.
Still in bed, mate. Still in bed. But we were raring to make. I think I did make somebody an offer. It was so early, I can't remember what time it was, but we did make an offer very early in the morning. So we know that we're raring to go on the day, ready to make those offers for those students. That, as I say, you might be in a situation like Tierney where you have changed your mind or things haven't gone to plan. So use that as an opportunity to just have a look at those universities if you do fall into any of those categories. Does anybody have any other bits they want to add with regards to clearing?
I think
there's a couple of questions coming in. Oh. Interviews and portfolios. Sorry, Faye, after you.
No, I was just going to say, if there's anyone currently who is thinking about going to university and hasn't made an application, you can actually still do the 5 choices if you haven't done that yet. So you don't have to go through extra or clearing. If you're at the position now, then you can still do it in the main cycle. You just need to check that the university still has spaces available on the course before you waste the choice. You don't have to make 5, you can just make 1 if you're sure that's the place that you want to go to and the course you want to do.
Yeah, it's a good point, actually, Faye.
Yeah, you can do that to the end of June, can't you? Yeah, so till the end of June, you can either use Extra or you can apply as a completely new applicant, like Faye says, and do the full process. And then for the 6th of July, that's when the clearing process itself kicks in.
Yeah. And Jamie, you were mentioning about a question.
So we've had a couple of questions about interviews and portfolios. So obviously some courses, all creative courses, performing arts courses, and sort of applied health related courses have an interview or a portfolio or both as part of the process. In reality, this will vary a lot, uni by uni, course by course, when it comes to clearing. For ourselves, for some of the health courses, we'll still want to do an interview, but it'll be a telephone interview and shorter and swifter than the interview in the main cycle. For some of our creative courses, we still need to see a digital portfolio. But for many courses, if a student has already had an offer elsewhere from an equivalent university that has been through the rigorous portfolio process, then we would class that as a validation of your creative level and potentially offer you from there. The real bottom line answer to that question is, I sound like the old Stone Cold Steve Austin now, the bottom line is get in touch and ask, anything specific, get in touch with the university you're interested in, give us a call, talk to us on WhatsApp, and we will give you specific answers to your specific question regarding your specific scenario. These live streams and university websites are brilliant sources of info, but what you need to do is find out your own exact position, and getting in touch with one of the advisors to have a detailed one-to-one chat will leave you in a position of understanding exactly where you are, exactly what your options are, and exactly what it is you should do next. And it's part of that planning that Tierney talked about. And the best way to plan is to drop us a line.
Absolutely. Tierney, just a quick question, because I can't remember if you did mention this. Did you have many other clearing offers, or did you just go to DMU?
I called up, I think, one other university
Okay.
and just inquired a little bit about it, but then ultimately DMU was my only choice.
Okay. So again, you can, as Jamie mentioned, you can have a few different sort of verbal offers, and you can hold a few different verbal offers. You don't have to sort of obviously decide on which one straight away. They do give you a little bit of time to do it, but you can hold as many offers as you like. So as Tierney did, you can tee yourself up on a few and then make that final decision as you get to that stage. We've had a couple of other questions come through as well. Thank you very much, Jamie, for talking about portfolios. We've had a couple of questions about how the sort of September intake is going to look. Oh, sounds like a very funky tune.
Who's playing that?
There we go. There's a fun jingle in the background there. It sounded like an ice cream van.
I thought we were turning into CBeebies.
Yeah, there's a couple of questions about the sort of September intake that was that's kind of going ahead. So do we want to touch on this just very quickly from the bits that we do know?
Yeah, I mean, it's a very natural question, isn't it? Because every live stream we've done is talking about the student experience this September, but obviously people are wondering, thinking, worrying what the student experience will be. Each time we get the question, we can give slightly clearer answers, but as I'm sure people can imagine, the COVID situation is still very much a live situation, and businesses and sectors are making decisions how we go. So from our point of view,
there you go.
University, what we do know is university will be starting on the 5th of October. So Monday the 5th of October, teaching will start. We know that lectures will be digital rather than face-to-face, because we know with social distancing, it's not going to be safe to put 300 people in a very small confined space for a lecture. What we expect to happen is that the rest of the campus experience will be a blended learning experience, potentially some seminars, some tutorials on campus, some one-to-one experiences on campus. But over the next few weeks, we're going to evolve that into a final plan with social distance mapping in the campus. How many people can we get in this space? How many can we get in that space? How safe is it to open the halls? Those types of things. And over the coming weeks, I would expect this to happen through June. Increasingly detailed comms will go out to applicants and to inquirers, talking specifically about what September, what the start of October in reality will look like. So courses will definitely go ahead on the 5th of October, but information about exactly how detail will evolve over the next 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you very much. Another quick question that we've had is talking about sort of international students that again might be looking to kind of come through this process. How does that kind of work? So international students that are looking to go through UCAS in general, UCAS Extra, and then obviously clearing.
The UCAS process itself doesn't necessarily change. So the UCAS timelines, the UCAS abilities to apply through there. The only difference with the international student is you can also potentially apply directly as well. So again, my top tip with an international student is either call us up, email, hit us on the WhatsApp number and just have a one-to-one chat. Because again, there's the added complication of visas, flights. Are people going to be legally allowed to leave one country and go to another country in September? So for an international student, there's the standard complications everybody else has got, plus a whole load more on top. So my main advice is get in touch and find out for your own particular case what the options are. We do have January starts. I think someone's asked a question about that, but January doesn't reflect the full course portfolio. January just reflects a relatively small subsection of the course portfolio. Most of our courses only have a September start. So again, get in touch, talk about your specific situation, and either we're going to help you directly or put you through to someone in the international office or a course area who can.
Yeah, I think Frederick was asking about whether we can move those for to a Jan intake. So hopefully that answers your question there as
some
well.
Courses yes, some courses no. Get in touch specifically, and we can let you know in that individual case.
Yeah, perfect. So last sort of topic that we need to cover then, because I can see Faye is chomping at the bit to talk about it, is releasing. So what happens when you are holding an offer with another university, much in the same way that Tierney was obviously in that situation. Faye, talking a little bit about that for us, please.
Yeah, sure. So if you have changed your mind, maybe when it comes to results day, and you actually want to go to another university, you've called them up, you've spoken to them, would they accept you with the grades and qualifications that you have? Then you can get a verbal offer, but you need to decline your other offers if you're holding any. So you can actually do this by logging on to UCAS, and there is a self-release button. So you can use this. We don't have to do it for you. You don't have to ask universities to do it. The decision is in your hands, essentially. It's a massive decision to make. If you have gone to your firm choice, but you've decided, actually, what was I thinking? I want to go to my insurance choice. I just put my insurance choice second because I had lower grades. You can't just decline your firm and automatically go into your insurance. You'd actually do the self-release button, and it would release you from both firm and insurance. It wouldn't pop you into insurance. You'd go into clearing. But you can call that university your insurance and tell them what you're going to do, have that conversation with them, get that verbal offer for clearing. Once you get your verbal offer, pop it onto UCAS track, and that's kind of sort it out. So yes, don't forget, don't remember. It's been a long week already. What day is it? Just remember that is an option, but obviously you have got some time to think about it. If you do have 24 hours to think about an offer, just find out about things like accommodation, if that applies to you as well. Somebody did actually ask in the comments about accommodation for DMU this year, and we are, I believe, guaranteeing accommodation for our first year students. Yes?
Perfect.
No, we are. What we don't know, we know we are down. So at this stage in the cycle, we are. What we don't know is obviously what the accommodation situation will be in reality in September, October. So yes, guaranteed accommodation should you be able to take it up. So there are it's guaranteed, but at the same time, still obviously a little bit complicated.
Absolutely, thank you. Thank you very much to Robo Faye there. I don't know whether it was just me. She was sounding a little bit robotic with our. It's all right. It's
looking kind of digital. She got a kind of like a digital fuzz to her, hasn't she? Yeah.
Yeah. It looked like she was in a video game. Yeah. It was just like. No, I think we're all having a few internet issues today, but that's okay. Lockdown, we make do. Tierney, because obviously you went through the release process. Have you got anything you want to add to what Faye just mentioned about releasing?
Yep. For me personally, it wasn't immediately clear that I could get released from my insurance choice.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't realise that you did it through UCAS. I thought you called up the university and did it. So yeah, again, as I said earlier, it's just doing that research of all the eventualities and getting a plan together just in case you need to go through clearing.
Yeah.
Just in case you want to change your mind on universities.
Perfect. So yeah, it's quite an easy process. I think the process has changed a couple of times over the years as well. So
the difference this year is last year it started slightly. You can now self-release on your UCAS track.
I know.
So you can go onto UCAS and you can release yourself now rather than needing to do it through the university, which is a big difference compared to what it would have been a few years ago.
Okay. Yeah. That makes it a little bit better.
Yeah. I think we are having a few delay issues because Faye has only just responded to my question about 5 minutes later. So anyway, so does anybody else have anything they want to add with regards to obviously James talked about clearing, obviously we talked a little bit about releasing there as well. Dallas is saying suspiciously quiet again, which always worried me slightly.
It's the Wi-Fi.
Oh, okay. I thought he was just brewing his next insult for me. I don't know. But yeah, so that's essentially the whole process then, really. So we've started off with Dow kind of talking about the whole UCAS process, and then we've sort of focused in on offers and how those offers are going to be held for those students starting this year. And obviously we've talked a little bit about how that is going to change slightly this year with things like predicted grades that Jamie talked about. We mentioned a little bit about obviously UCAS Extra. which we would just want to reiterate is open right now. So if you have any questions or queries about that, whether you are sat there with your UCAS offers and you're thinking, oh, I want to change my mind, I want to go somewhere else, just get in touch with some universities, get that information down. I'll pop the number for our inquiry lines in the comments. So if you have any questions about UCAS Extra, you can come through there as well. And then, of course, we talked a little bit about, obviously, results day, and then we talked more about clearing. We found out a little bit from Tierney about her sort of experiences of results day as well. So it's all, hopefully that was all kind of really, really useful from that perspective. A couple of more questions, and again, we are going to be sort of wrapping up over the next 5 minutes. If you do have any sort of burning questions, pop them in the comments now. Another question from KK was talking about entry requirements, how they were sort of lowered for certain universities. Will that be a similar situation this year, do we think?
There's nearly always an element of points dropping during clearing. You can never quite tell exactly how many are going to drop by, but at the same time, there's also a lot of flexibility on results day anyway. So some universities might have in their prospectus a course needs 3 Bs, but in reality, it might be you get 3 Cs and you still get accepted on that course. So the advertised grades change during clearing, but do bear in mind that universities have got their advertised grade, then they've actually got their offer acceptable position behind that. So we don't drop as much as they seem in reality, because there's always that flexibility in there. It's more the way they're advertised that will change. I think for me, the bottom line from this session is that right from now, right up until when the course starts, there is always a chance to either change your mind, to come in as a late applicant, or to secure a place if you don't want one already, be it through the main UCAS application process, be it through Extra, or be it through clearing. There's always the ability to talk to the uni, get support, and secure a place all the way through. Whereas people might think and panic, think, oh my gosh, if I missed the chance, missed the time, all the way through, right up until mid-September, there are still chances to get on courses to start this year.
Absolutely.
Via the exact numbers, appropriate timing.
Yeah, Jamie's head just poking over the top there of the numbers. So yeah, you can contact us there as well. So thank you very much for that. I'm just making sure we haven't missed any other questions. Somebody did, off the back of your comment, Jamie, about the sort of September intake. Somebody was asking what would happen with things like studio-based courses. Again, I don't think we've had too much of an insight.
One of the variables we're looking at, because obviously some courses you could teach digitally easier than others. If you're on English or history or business or economics, you're not using physical resources. It's textbook, lectures, research. The transferability of those courses to a digital platform is relatively straightforward. If you're doing architecture, fine art, fashion, pharmacy, nursing, it's a lot less straightforward. So part of the process they're looking at on campuses, how can we manage these courses using the physical resources while still social distancing? How many people can we fit in at once? How does that work for the timetable? How safe do we feel it is? Do we have enough resource to allow the number of people to use those facilities? How can we make these resources available at home for digital platforms? All sorts of conversations. That's why universities aren't just coming out with a big, bold statement right now, because we know there'll be 1,000 questions people have got that we haven't yet got the answers for. So it's a really big, complicated process. Taking the teaching of 20,000 people on campus and making it digital or semi-digital is not something you can click the fingers and do. So we're making sure we've got everything in place to give students the best possible academic and social experience in place. And as soon as we've got that clarified and tight and understood and ready to go, we'll push out the comms and hopefully have an answer then to all of the questions that people have got. And they're all completely valid questions, you know. I think we all totally get why anyone is thinking, oh, how's this going to work? How's that going to work? Because they're big things. And over the coming weeks, we'll have big answers to deal with those big questions.
Absolutely. Well, I think we can sort of wrap it up there, unless anybody has any other advice or guidance or anything they would like to add at this stage. No. Dale's still about 5 minutes behind because of his Wi-Fi. That's okay.
He's going to say, good morning, welcome to the live stream in a second.
So let's talk about the timeline. Right, here we are.
Yeah, what is clearing?
Yeah, what is clearing? That was done about 10 minutes ago. But no, thank you so much for you guys for answering all those questions today about clearing. We hope that we've cleared all of that up for you guys that were listening in. So thank you very much for watching. Again, whether you're outside in the sunshine, whether you were, I don't know, doing your schoolwork, whatever it is you're doing, we're pleased that you're able to kind of come along to this live stream, and again, hopefully we're able to advise you a little bit further. And again, thank you very much for Tierney for joining us and giving us a little bit of her insight. So last couple of bits then, as I mentioned before, obviously all the comments, all the links I'm about to pop on screen are in the comments. So obviously, like I say, if you want to find out a bit more about UCAS Extra, which again is open right now, you can go into that link just there, or go to those numbers just there and contact us. You don't have to give us a ring if you want to contact us via WhatsApp as well. We're happy to talk to you via that instead. We also do have a Facebook group, so if you are looking to start with us this year and actually become a DMU student this year, this group is full of lots and lots and lots of DMU students that are intending to start this September. So if you want to join that group, you can come along to that, chat with some prospective students that are starting this year, and maybe start to meet up, make friendship groups and all that sort of thing. And we'll be posting additional information in there as updates kind of crop up. And lastly, because Tina was talking about doing some research earlier, finding out a little bit more about the universities. Again, we appreciate that you can't do that at the moment, but we are going to be doing a virtual open day on the 4th of July, which you will be able to find information for on our website. If you just go to that link there, you'll be able to book on, and we'll make sure we give you lots and lots of information about all the courses, things like accommodation, which obviously we had some questions about. So come along to that. You probably see our faces in a few of the live streams as well. So yeah, come along to that if you want to find out more information. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much to you guys. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Go and enjoy some sunshine. If it's still sunny out there, we'll be all right. Going to go and work on my tan now, and we'll see you in the next live stream. Have a nice week. See you later. Bye.